I'm not live. Oh, haha. Oops. Thanks for letting me know. I wasn't, you guys could probably hear me, but you couldn't see me. So, woohoo. Hello. That was funny. Wow. Excellent. See, that's why I always ask audio and visual. Is that good, right? I forgot to hit the go live button on the camera. You know what's kind of crazy? I'm going off a little tangent for a second. This, what drives me nuts, I don't know if it's a Mac thing or what, but like it renames USB things. Like it decides to rename my camera every now and then. So like, sometimes it'll name it USB capture HDMI plus, and then the next week it'll be Canon M50. It is weird. Like it just decides to name the USB device something different. And when I launch Wirecast or a lot of other things as well, like it doesn't, because the Apple renames the device, like it thinks it's not connected. So like every time I launch it, I have to reassign to whatever the new name is, and it's quite annoying. It drives me crazy. But anyway, Cam Stack not running yet. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's go ahead. I will share my screen. Joe, please show how to add stacks to the edit page as you are working, so you don't have to keep going back and forth to site styles. I'm not sure I understand the question, Jody. Can you please show how to add stacks to the edit page as you are working, so you don't have to keep going back and forth? I think I understand what you're talking about. Okay, we'll show that really quick. Let's go ahead and share my screen. Voila. Oh, here's my top secret tiers of stacks we're going to be looking at today. Let's just help out Jody really quick. Why not? That's why we're here. Because it's a really simple question. Okay. So actually, I think I have it on the homepage. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. So what Jody's talking about is, I think, sometimes, you have site styles up at the very top, and sometimes you're working on a page, right? And, let's just copy this. We have the beautiful, I was playing around. There's our lovely Brian LePan, right here, being all angelic. So sometimes you're way down at the bottom and you're like, oh, I need to adjust something in site styles. And so you scroll all the way back up and you go to site styles and do your thing. And then you have to scroll all the way back down. I think that's what Jody's talking about. And the solution to that is something called the shelf stack that comes with Foundation 6. So there is a shelf stack. You add that to the page and you simply drag and drop site styles inside shelf. Okay. And what that does is, if you notice, it keeps site styles always right there. So you can unhide it and hide it. And there you go. Now, if you don't have the double click feature enabled, you can hide it and unhide it from this little button. So you can quickly do your thing in site styles, hide it, and then you're still exactly where you were before. So, okay, cool. So yeah, that's shelf. And one thing to be perfectly, or to be careful of, I should say, is the shelf stack is here, but it kind of puts this floating thing up there for us, right? If you delete the shelf stack, guess what? Site styles is gone too. So be careful. That's why I have this little note that says, do not delete the shelf stack if it has stuff in it. So if you're going to have to make sure that you remove the things from the shelf stack, then you can delete it from the page. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Okay. Hopefully that helped you out, Jody. Hopefully that was your question. Okay, so okay, this is just my stacks page. Here, I'll go over my list if you just want to kind of see my list in all of its glory. Let's just go ahead and I'm not going to do much demos today. Because that would take forever to kind of talk. I'll just talk about these stacks. We'll look at them. We'll talk about what they do. So I've kind of ranked the stacks that people fed back to me in kind of a tiered system, and kind of ones that I think are useful for hands down used on every website. Okay. And some of these in tier 2 could be in tier 1 as well. But I think these ones are like, there's no brainer. You're going to have to use these on every site. Okay. I'm going to start off with the foundation. Now you can substitute your favorite framework here or theme, whatever floats your boat. Obviously here, I think most people here use foundation. So do I, right? And obviously I'm biased. I think Foundation 6 is amazing, and we can do awesome stuff with it. I'm not going to dive into that. Obviously, you guys watch any of the past year's worth of live streams, and you can see how awesome Foundation 6 is. Okay. Next up, though, is SEO Helper. Now, I think this is definitely an essential stack that everybody needs to have on every web page. And I'm not just saying that because it's one of my products. I mean, I made it for me because I needed it on every single one of my websites, right? So it's just a crazy, really, really, really good tool. Again, I'm not going to go through the demos of all this stuff in terms of showing you how to use these things. We're just going to talk about stacks. And as I'm going on, we'll probably talk. You guys can post in the chat and we can interact and talk about other things that maybe I missed. Okay. But SEO Helper helps you with all the boring meta tags, the stuff that you never see on the web page, right? This is all the that search engines need to index your pages properly, as well as it also helps you with all the social stuff. So like, when you're posting to Facebook or Twitter or whatever, someone posts your URL, and sometimes you get those fancy previews that have like, an image and the nice title and the description. Well, guess what? All that's handled by meta tags on the page, and SEO Helper can help you with that. SEO Helper does a lot of other stuff, right? It has more advanced sitemap than what RapReaver out of the box can provide. It can help you with 404 pages. I have tons of videos, as you see here, on SEO Helper. This technical SEO tactics for 2019. That was a really good live stream. I checked that out. Everything in there is still 100% pertinent to 2021. So, I can't believe that was 2 years ago. In 2019, I did that video. Must have been the very end of 2019 because it feels like it was just last week. So, good video there. Maybe this SEO checklist was a newer one. This one could have been kind of newer, maybe a revamp of 2019 one. But definitely check these out. There's some really good stuff learning here. So SEO Helper. I think it's a no-brainer. Next up is Pen. Okay, so Pen. Let's look up Pen. Pen is a amazing stack, and I have to say that people love this stack a lot more than I ever expected them to. I made this, it was actually during one of the breakout sessions during the Weaverspace conference. We were just talking about, how can we, group stacks inside edit mode and maybe take some notes. And so Pen was born during one of the breakout sessions at the Weaverspace conference. And it's turned into a lot of people's most used stacks. And it's completely 100% free on my site. So you go ahead and check it out. It is free. You can download it. And if you download any of my demos or any of the Foundation 6 templates, you're probably going to want to make sure you have this because I use it all over the place. Just to kind of show you, I guess we'll kind of do a quick demo of Pen just to show you what it can do. So let's just go ahead and add a Pen stack to the page. So boop, you can add Pen, right? And if you watched last week with Chris Powers, he uses Pen all over the place in his projects, as well as I know Davide does as well and stuff like that. So it's a great way of adding notes, and you can just add whatever stacks you want into it, right? And you can kind of, just kind of like lets you take notes about a section. Okay, you can change the color of the notes. I mean, it's really simple. Like, you can type in, you can do full-blown markdown in here if you wanted, right? So if you type in your notes in here, it supports full-blown markdown inside the Pen. And then what's kind of cool is if you hide the pen via the stacks hide feature, or if you use double click, what it does is it hides the contents, but doesn't hide the actual notes. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Some more advanced pen features is you can add your own classes. Chris does this, and then he has his own color schemes for notes, for pens, which is pretty cool. And then also, you can actually an interesting feature of pen is you can actually set stuff to be do not publish. So I recommend if you use that, you check both of these boxes, and it just adds all kinds of warnings to make you 100% aware that none of this data is going to get published. So it's purposely meant to be in your face. Some people have asked me to subdue it a little bit. No, because this is just, and what's kind of cool is actually, even though you have all this, you can still interact with all the contents, move it around and change the settings and stuff like that. But yeah, if you turn on that do not publish, that will not publish any of the content. It's not like those other backpack related stacks or locker stack. I used to have a stack called Locker, and there were some limitations with that, which is why it's not on my site anymore. Pen replaces that. It does a much better job. So anyway, yeah, Pen is a useful stack. Make sure you go get that. It is free, so no excuses. You should get Pen. Next up is Shareit. And pretty much every website nowadays, you're going to want to share content, have some sort of share buttons. And I get asked this question all the time. Like, how can I share my posts on Facebook or Twitter and all that stuff, right? And yeah, so I have a stack called Shareit, and it does exactly that. So, oops. Yeah, it allows you, it has this cool little widget. When you hover over it, you can get the share buttons, or you can just put the individual share buttons. And when you click on it, it will share this particular web page on that social network. So it'll allow this person to share this to their Facebook feed, or allow the person to post a tweet about your web page, right? So these aren't used as links to your social networks. These are, again, the ability to allow your visitors to share your web page on to their visitors or to their followers on Twitter, Facebook, and all that. Some of these, I have update this demo. I guess G Plus doesn't even exist anymore, so I probably got to remove that from the demo. So yeah, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, those are probably going to be the three popular ones where your people are going to share stuff. Okay. You can use it to link to your social things though as well. So like, wow, here I have app.net in this demo. That's going way back, old school stuff. So you can use this to link out to your social networks as well. But yeah, the quick way is to, this is a quick way of just sharing stuff. So I think that's really cool. I get that asked a lot, and people aren't aware of this stack. So really cool. And funny, actually, interesting tidbit is this little Shareit circle stack. For some reason, the animation actually is broken on my demo. I guess I need to fix that. I know it works because I was demonstrating it to somebody the other day. And those like fan out. But for some reason, my demo was broken. Not sure why. But anyway, you can use this little utility to put whatever you want inside these circles. So it's kind of like a generic drop zone area where you can just, drag and drop whatever you want and use this for your heart's content. So it's kind of a cool little utility stack. So anyway, that's Shareit. So that kind of wraps up just the ones that I really think you're probably going to use on every single website. Okay. We'll go into the ones in tier 2. And I know a lot of people use these on every website as well. But I just thought these were quasi optional. I don't think these ones up here are optional. You should have those. Though all the ones in tier 1, you should have them. There is no question. Okay, whether or not you need SEO helper or not. If you think you need SEO, if you ask if you need SEO helper, the answer is yes, you need it. Unless you don't care about SEO, I guess. But yes, SEO helper I feel is 100% required. And I guess Shareit could be optional. I mean, if you really don't care about sharing your website on social media, I guess maybe you could argue that's in tier 2. Okay, but we'll leave it there for now. Okay, some of the other ones. we're going to breeze through some. So I'm going to start. I'm not going to go through these in order. First one is Total CMS or Easy CMS. I know there are a lot of you that just de facto just put Total CMS on every website that you design because it makes your life easier, because it makes it so not only your users, but you can also edit content online as well. Like, so I know some people that don't even tell their customers, if they're designing a site for a customer, that a CMS is even there, maybe because they just use it for their own purposes to update content. So they don't have to open up RapReaver all the time and republish and stuff like that. So something like Total CMS or Easy CMS, I think is pretty vital. It's, being able to edit and update your website content on the fly wherever you are, even from your mobile phone. I don't have my phone with me right now, but yeah, I think that's powerful, right? And obviously, if you need a blog, Total CMS has it's one of the, I think, the best features or the best things out there to have a blog or manage an e-commerce store. Tons of people use it for that as well. So I'm not going to do a whole sales pitch on Total CMS. I'm sure a lot of you understand why it's powerful, but this isn't my list. Again, this is from users. So this is stuff users have told me. Yeah. Next up is, I guess, Font Pro is a great one. If you care about styling typography or importing, fonts from easily from Adobe or typography.com, which is Hoffler, Font Pro makes that easy. It gives you access to a lot of more advanced styles for text. So here, if we go to fontprosax.com, hopefully it's been a while since I visited the site. Man, I love this webpage. This is just a beautiful webpage. So yeah, I mean, accessing beautiful fonts like this, it just allows for really great typography. So yeah, typical web typography with Font Pro. So, I mean, it's just importing, makes it really nice to style. Oops, my little video that was down here is broken. Oh no, look at that. Bad Joe. Look, I broke my site for some reason. Not sure what I did there. The F and the T aren't working. Sad. Font Pro allows for some special stuff like kerning. There are certain fonts that you want to adjust the kerning of the text because at larger, maybe you want to condense the font a little bit. Font Pro allows you to do stuff like that. So if you really enjoy or, really want to, take your typography to the next level on your sites, I think Font Pro is great. And it works on any theme, not just Foundation 6. So obviously it does work well in Foundation 6, but it doesn't matter what theme or framework you're using. Font Pro is powerful. Okay. Next up, PageSafe. I have to say, PageSafe is one of my favorite stacks that I've made. I mean, I just love the simplicity of it. Let's go to the demo here. I forget what the pin is. 1005. Okay. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just too cool, right? I mean, it's a way of locking your web page content. There's multiple ways to do it. You can have it with a password or a passcode. PageSafe is just pretty brilliant. I think it is, it's one of my most brilliant stacks, I think, that I've ever done. And it's just solid. And it works really, really, really well. If you need to password protect a web page, give PageSafe a shot. It's just really awesome. It's a really good thing. As you see, you can style it all kinds of different ways. As you see here, you can do a lot with it. You can also do stuff like, there's a thing called Stack Safe that lets you, I'm not going to dive into that. PageSafe is a very cool stack. If you need a way of, again, protecting or locking a web page, maybe you're designing a web page for a customer and you just want to hide it from the world except for them for now. Or if you want to protect your CMS admin areas, super easy. Or, I mean, all kinds of, anyways, any reason you would want to password protect a page, PageSafe is the easiest, most elegant solution out there, in my opinion. Next up here, we're going to dive into, if you don't have big white duck stacks, there are a lot of gems here. Okay. And so if we go to stacks, and I know one of the most popular ones that he has that people use all the time, we're going to talk about a couple of them today, is Sections Pro. So Sections Pro is a very powerful stack. It has a ton of different options. I mean, you could do amazing things with Sections Pro. And I know a lot of people, it is their de facto standard. So they use Sections Pro for a lot of stuff. I'll argue that with the coming of Foundation 6, a lot of the at least some of the more simple things that people use Sections Pro for, you can do just out of the box with Foundation containers and swatches and stuff like that. But Sections Pro is it's amazing. It can do a lot of stuff. So check that out. And like I said, a lot of people swear by it and use it for a lot of things. So Sections Pro is definitely something that is in tier 2. Okay. Another one, let's see, next one of mine, which I think is really cool. That it was, I'll be honest, I didn't expect this one to show up on people's radar as one of their essential stacks. And I'm glad it is, because it's a nice stack. It's called Wallpaper. And actually on this page, all of these colored sections here are out on my product pages are actually done with Wallpaper. So yeah, Wallpaper allows you to do nice colored gradients. You can have these nice scaled SVG kind of wallpaper backgrounds. And it has like if you look here, like it has a gallery of SVG tile backgrounds that you can use, as well as it has pre-made gradients, because a lot of times gradients are hard to come by, right? They're hard to generate. They're hard to find and create a nice gradient on your own. So yeah, it has a pre-baked in, like, I don't know, 100 or so gradients that you can just pick from a list. And you can preview all of them in edit mode so you can see which ones you might want. And yeah, they're really, really nice. So all these in the demo are pre-made gradients that are done all with Wallpaper. Okay. Now, you might ask, well, you have all these cool new gradient swatches in Foundation 6 Swatch Pack. Yes, I do. And you do a lot of really cool stuff. But as I just said, sometimes creating those gradients can be a challenge, right? So having, finding the colors that go well, like kind of mesh and have a nice gradient. Something like this is probably pretty simple to do on your own. You're going from this color to that color. You're done, right? But some of the more, like this one particular, it kind of has a more advanced gradient within it. So some gradients can look really nice, but finding the right colors that mix with each other well can be a challenge. So that's why having these pre-made gradients inside Wallpaper is pretty cool. And Wallpaper does have a swatch as well. So the Wallpaper swatch allows you to quickly apply that gradient to multiple things, right? So you see, oh, here's all the gradients. I went right by them, or not all of them, but there's a short list of some of the gradients that you get. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to see a Wallpaper come up on people's lists as an essential. And it was quite a few people actually said that they use Wallpaper a lot. And yeah, that made me feel good, because Wallpaper was a lot of work. Yeah, it was a lot of work to get this stack done. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, check out Wallpaper. Let's see. Next up is Impact. Let's do Impact. I'm just gonna go straight to the page. Impact is an amazing stack, and this has an external demo. Impact's slideshow ability is, I think, second to none. The way it has the crossfading, as well as like the Ken's burn zoom effect, if you want that. I don't think there's anything that parallels this in the entire RapidWeaver ecosystem. Maybe even the web. I'll be brutally honest. The crossfade effect that is inside Impact is really amazing. It doesn't allow like the background of the site to bleed through. I mean, it does a really stellar job. And so you can use it as you see here, as a hero header. And then you can like scroll down and see the rest of it, right? So there's a lot of really interesting features with Impact. You can use it for as well as for video. So like this is a video impact, right? So it's a way of putting some background video there, and you have some text on top and stuff like that. So it's really made for like these banners. That's where what it's made best for. You can use it within your content as well. Like so here, this right down here is actually multiple videos in a slideshow. So it's kind of cool. Impact is not your typical slider as well. Because it takes the content that you add to it, like the images or the videos, and kind of think of it as like a background image. Okay, parts of the image could potentially get cut off because really Impact is more of, again, it applies those as a background image. It's more of using it as a, maybe again like a banner here with having text. Impact integrates with Blog, which is really cool, so that you can actually have a slideshow that slides through blog posts. Oops, I need to hold on one second. Turn on Do Not Disturb here. Okay. So Impact, I think, is a really popular one. It has been for years, and it's a super solid stack, and it's really customizable. Has a lot of power. And someone asked me, actually, they said they really like Impact, but they were like, I don't know if I want to use it in Foundation 6 because of the extra weight that it brings to the page. And I think that I think maybe a lot of people have that thoughts about, being really, really strict and only using Foundation 6 stacks because it makes your page super fast. And that is 100% correct. Okay? But like there are sometimes you just need to use a stack. Like if you like Impact and you like what it does for you and you like the slideshows and the video support and all the other things that it does, I mean, it's not going to kill performance of your web page. I mean, adding, making sure you compress your images is going to be a whole lot, better in terms of performance, and then having another stack or two on the page that isn't Foundation 6. Okay, so this is not just about Impact itself. Like this is really for any stack. If you have a need and there's a stack that fills that need, you shouldn't be scared to use it. Okay, you shouldn't see a ton of bloat on your web page because of one or two stacks. Really. Okay, so I wouldn't be scared of that. I wouldn't shy away from using a stack because it wasn't a part of Foundation 6. So just a small disclaimer there. And again, that isn't just about Impact. It's really about any stack. Just a nice little disclaimer there about that. Okay, next up is Agent. And I think Agent actually has a external demo as well. Agent is one of those stacks that is definitely super, super useful. And it does so many different things. It's just a great utility stack. And some people say they use it on every site regardless, right? What can Agent do for us? So Agent contains several different, it can do a lot of things. But one thing that all of these particular stacks, Agent URL, Agent Persist, and Agent Lang, what all of them have in common is that think of Agent as like a server-side visibility stack. Okay? So the normal Agent stack, which is actually, when Agent started, this is all that it could do, right? Is it allows you to customize. Now, I'm only on a desktop, so it's going to be hard for me. If you were to look at this web page on a mobile device, it'd be completely different, right? This gallery would be completely different. If you visited it from an Android or an iPhone, this download button would be different, right? So like it allows you to customize the content based on the user's browser. So are they coming from a mobile device? Are they coming from a Mac? Are they coming from a PC? Are they coming from an iOS device, right? So it allows you to target those particular devices and then customize your content just for that. And what's cool about this is If you have particular images or whatever that you want to show on desktops, but maybe not on mobile devices, none of that data is actually downloaded to the browser. So again, all the visibility parts of Agent happen on the server, which is really powerful. Okay. Agent URL. This allows you to kind of pass parameters to the URL to customize this page. So like for instance, here I have product A. If I click on this product B, okay, you'll notice that I have this on the same page, but if you look at the URL, I passed product equals B to the URL. And based on information that you pass to the URL, you can customize the web page, right? This could be useful for maybe location information or, again, product information like we have here. So you can have one web page to kind of really display, multiple things. You can also use it as language, but there's actually a better way to control language than Agent URL now, because Agent Lang exists, which I think is now the de facto, the best way now to create multi-language websites. I'm not going to go into all the other features, but yeah, Agent is a very powerful stack. It allows you to, again, to it's kind of like a visibility stack on the server side. It just gives us a lot of flexibility and power that we wouldn't have otherwise. Okay. Now this last stack that we're going to be talking about is, I think it's one of my most underrated stacks. And I've said this several times. Call to action is a really awesome stack. And I don't know if I don't properly portray how awesome call to action is or what it's used for, but I think it's very essential. If you're running a business website and you want to have call to actions on your webpage, so like getting subscribers or getting users to interact on your site, this is a must-use stack. So what it does is it integrates with call to action itself. Doesn't have any light boxes or anything like that, right? But it integrates with 12 different stacks. Okay, some from me, some from Tav, Big White Duck, and other developers, right? So it integrates with all kinds of stuff. So like it'll integrate with the Focus stack from Elixir. It'll integrate with Popbox from 1LD. A lot of these are light boxes, or here's Glider. Hey, just quick reminder, Glider is deal of the week this week. So yeah, if you don't have Glider, that is a really nice stack. It's basically sliding panels, as you see here. And you can slide from any side of the browser window. So Glider is a useful one. So call to action will integrate with all of these things, right? As well as it will actually integrate with a lot of the Foundation 6 components as well, which I haven't updated on this demo yet. And what it does is it'll trigger those components based on several things. Okay, so you can it's basically call to action is a triggering. This is the core of what call to action does. It allows us to trigger things on page load, which is entry. And you can say page load and maybe delay it by 10 seconds or something like that. You can trigger it by clicking on anything. You can trigger it based on scroll position of the web page, just like right now. I reached the bottom of the web page, and here's the little glider that popped up at the top. And that's a horrible color I chose. Who chose that? My goodness. You can base it on exit intent. So that if I go to the URL bar, oh, look, what's that? Right? Or if, I had changed, to a different tab and then came back, there would be, this light box would have popped up because that's triggering the exit intent. The user's intending to leave your web page and you're trying to entice them to stay, right? So it also integrates with various event trackers and things like that, and analytics, so you can track whether or not people are clicking on buttons and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, and it also has this cool kind of utility stack called Scrollline, which you'll see at the bottom here. You can also have it on the side, and it just tracks the scroll position. And when you reach the bottom of the page, you get a nice little CTA there. So yeah, call to action, I think, is an immensely powerful stack, and I think it's underutilized, and I think you can definitely improve and convert leads more if you were to use call to action. Okay, that kind of does it with tier 2 stuff. Let me go. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the chat really quick. How safe is a 4-digit code these days? Gaston asks. I don't know. You can have up to, I think, 8 digits though. So if you don't want a 4-digit code, you can have up to 8. iPhones have 6 now. So yeah, I mean, with a 4-digit code, that's, 10,000 possibilities. So not too shabby. Okay. Let's see. Moving forward with all BDB performance, expected to keep up with new versions. Some praise for Big White Duck. Yep, Tav is awesome. We all love Tav. Impact is brilliant. Yes, it is. Thank you. Is there a demo file that comes with Impact? Yeah, if you just re-download the stack, it'll be there. Call to action is awesome. Yes, it is. Thank you, Jason. You know what? I'm not surprised you use it. You do a good job on that stuff, Jason. Okay, so now we're going to go into the tier 3 stacks. What are tier 3 stacks? I think these are stacks these are the ones that I was saying earlier, that when you have a specific use case, like, these are great stacks to have. And I have them listed alphabetically here. So let's just go through those. Let's see, directions. This is one I released at the end of last year. And it's something that I wanted, actually. You know what? I had a gripe one day. When you go to various web pages and you click on the directions, it always opens up Google Maps, right? Because they just lazily link to Google Maps. And I don't use Google Maps, right? I like Apple Maps. So I wanted a solution for website users that allowed you to open up Apple Maps. And so, yeah, I released directions because that's what it does. So you can have, you can configure these buttons to dynamically. So like if you can have it always open up in Google Maps if you want, but basically it will dynamically detect whether or not you are on a Mac device or a non-Mac device, and it will open up either Google Maps or Apple Maps. So like if I click on this Get Directions button, hopefully it works. There, it works. There we go. So it's going to calculate directions to one infinite loop. And there we go. So it opens up Apple Maps and gets me directions to the address, right? And again, if I were on my iPhone, it would do the same thing. Okay. Or you can do it with, and you can get directions from a button. You can get it from a link, all kinds of stuff, right? So super simple stack, but man, this just fulfilled a need that I was sick of on the web. Like I hated that. Like it was just a really nice touch. And I figured if it was something that I wanted, a lot of other people would want it. So I don't actually implement this on any web pages. I don't have any like local business stuff. So I don't actually have this. It's just something that I, as a website visitor, wanted. So I'm hoping that you implement this on your websites, because I'm sure a lot of other people feel the same way that I did, where, they're using an iPhone. They want to open up directions to a store or a cafe or a restaurant, and they just want to open it in Apple Maps. They don't want to, go to Google Maps and then try to figure out how to get the directions into their Apple Maps app, right? So, yeah, that's just a really cool stack. Check it out. This one is actually another one of my pillar products, and it's not a website thing at all. It's my email stacks. And I say that these are important because if you're doing any sort of email marketing out there, building HTML for an email is extremely different than HTML for a web page. And my email stacks allow you to turn RapidWeaver into an HTML builder for email. Okay. I got this cool video stack, right? This video thing right here. It's a stack that I made years ago, and I never took it past the next 10% to get it released. I need to do that. That's just, I love this. When I created this, I was like, that effect is just too cool. Okay, but I digress. So yeah, HTML for email is king. And you can use this not only for marketing like in MailChimp, but people, if you use SiteLock, you can use the HTML generated for this inside SiteLock. You can use it with Foundation 6 Forms. I'm pretty sure you can use it in FormSnap as well as Forms Plus. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure you can though. I do know that it works with Foundation 6 Forms because I've tested it all over the place. And so you can create basically super beautiful emails straight from, forms on your web page and stuff like that, right? So yeah, RapidWeaver, email builder, email for RapidWeaver is awesome. Check it out. If you need to build out HTML emails or make pretty emails for, web forms or SiteLock and all that stuff, or, all the emails that I send out. I've created templates, but they were all generated and created using my email stacks. So there we go. Next up, filters. This is a fun one, actually. I was glad to see that someone put this on their list because it's another one that I'm really happy of. You can do a lot of really cool stuff with this. So filters, it also has a swatch with Foundation 6, which makes it super powerful. It allows you to do really nice things like this. You just drag and drop an image, and then you can do these overlays and blurred images. It has a pack of preset filters, so you can just add a class to something, and voila, you can have pre-made Instagram filters. Pretty cool. As you see, you just have a lot of really good control over the filters. So this is the image that's actually on the page. So it's kind of like just applies filters just as if you were in some sort of image editing app, right? But it happens all live in the browser. And the reason what makes it cool is having it in the browser. Because you could, if you just had, oops, what's going on? I think the live stream is causing, okay. So this particular image, right? It, you could think, oh, wow, I could do that in Pixelmator, or I could do that, before I add it to my website, right? But where this is useful is, let's say you want to apply a consistent style to a lot of images. Essentially, you could just upload images, even images uploaded via Total CMS, and then you can apply a filter to make sure that all the images have a similar style and color style, so that when they're on your webpage, they actually look like they belong as a set, even though they might be taken at different times, right? So filters really allows you to do that. And oops, I skipped the... so you can do this. You can also do this frosted glass look. So if you see here, I have, a little box on top of the image. And then if you look through the background there, you have this frosted glass look. So yeah, you can't use the frosted glass too much though, because it actually is quite resource intensive. So, have it maybe, on one or two little spots on your page and you'll be okay. But, yeah, this frosted effect, does cause, some browser resource constraints. It uses a lot of CPU or GPU or whatever, the browser decides to use. Now oops, man, I keep staggering here. What's another cool thing about filters is doing hover effects, right? So if you apply a filter, if you can have it, let's say black and white by default, and then when you hover over it, shows the original colored image, right? So that's really cool. You can also apply filters to non-images. So you can have, filters apply to text content. So here is a pricing table where I'm hovering over and, blurring out that particular entire HTML, right? So it's kind of cool. So yeah, that's filter. What's really cool about filter, again, it does come with a Foundation 6 swatch, which is pretty slick. Let's see, another one, fit text. Oops, did I not type that right? Oh, there it goes. Fit text, I actually use this in some of my Foundation templates, and it comes with a swatch as well, and it just allows you to build out large text that responds to the browser, right? So if I shrink this down, you'll see that fit text will ensure that the text is always fit in the area, and you can provide minimum and maximum values so that the text only grows to a certain size. Okay, but it's just a really cool way of making sure that your header, maybe up on your main banner at the top of the page, is always as big as it can, and always, it always fits on one line, because we don't want it to break on multiple lines. So fit text is super useful for that. So yeah, and like I said, it comes with a fit text swatch for Foundation 6, and yeah, it's really useful. Very cool stuff. So yeah, fit text. Let's see. Okay, cool. So we have the next two are from Greg over at Chili Dog. Let's go over to Chili Dog Software. There we go. And the first one is Forms Plus, and I think version 3 just shipped last month. Okay, even though actually the screenshot still says version 2. Version 3 just shipped. Now, why might you want to use Forms Plus? I think where Forms Plus excels is if you want to do multi-step forms. Okay, so if you want to have fill out a form and go to step 2 and then step 3. So if you want to have forms that are multi-steps, I think Forms Plus does that better than any other form out there. Other than that, outside of that, I think with version 3, you can do non-stepped forms. I haven't played with it myself. And I'm not sure on the differences with Foundation 6 forms. Foundation 6 forms are super powerful as well. Actually, maybe next week I'm going to do a live stream on some cool stuff we did on the Hangout last week, and some stuff that I shipped in the last Foundation update to do kind of quasi multi-step forms. Where you can actually paginate, and you can do some really cool stuff. And maybe next week we'll be showing off some of that stuff with Foundation forms. But if you need a multi-step form, check out Forms Plus. From what I understand, it is the go-to for multi-step forms for sure. Next is Gridiron. And I have a stack called Power Grid that does a decent job at bringing in CSV files. But yeah, I've heard tons of great stuff, and a lot of people love Gridiron for that as well. So if you're working with CSV files and you want to have large data tables on your web pages, and if you don't already have Power Grid CSV, you might want to check out Gridiron. I have heard a lot of great stuff about it, and yeah, it's Greg does a great job. So it looks really nice. Here, I don't really know much features about it to tell you, other than I know people love it, and it will work with spreadsheets. I think it integrates with Google Docs as well. I probably shouldn't promote that because I'm not sure. Excel, CSV. Well, you can access here. Yep, cloud editing with Google Spreadsheets. So you can do Google Spreadsheets as well. Power Grid CSV does that too. Yeah, that's cool. So Gridiron 3, Gridiron, not sure what version this is. Gridiron is a great way of doing tables. Let's check that out. Okay, back to Weaver Space. Horizon, that's another one, another stack that I'm actually really proud of. And the reason is just I love the simplicity of it. And the animations that it has are super slick. Actually, I just did an update, I think a month ago, that made the animations even smoother. And it integrates with Total CMS blogs. So you can actually have like a sliding container with blog posts and or gallery images and stuff. So if you need a way of horizontally scrolling, this works great on mobile devices. Okay, so it's just really, actually I used this on the Foundation Stacks website, right, to do those testimonials. So if we go to foundationstacks.com, voila, this is Horizon, right? So yeah, I love Horizon. I think it's really great. As you see, it's just a simple way of scrolling anything you got, right? Super happy with it. Here I'm scrolling through some Foundation 6 cards, right? So here's a really great, and actually if you reload this page, it uses a Horizon feature that shuffles all the slides. So yeah, so these show up in random orders every time you visit the web page. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So yeah, Horizon, it's a quality one. Okay, next one. I haven't played around with this one, but it is from Will Woodgate over at stacksforstacks.com. It looks kind of useful. It's called Lorem Utility. There we go. Lorem Utility. So I had actually two people reference this one, so I thought we'd talk about it. And apparently it just allows you to do lorem ipsum text. I don't see any settings on this page, so I'm not sure exactly what settings it has, but it looks like you can pull in from different lorem ipsum generators. My favorite is actually Hipster Ipsum. That's the one I always use. All the fake text that's in Foundation is all generated from Hipster Ipsum, just to say. But you can generate from all kinds of ones, and it looks like you can just kind of say, like, give me a paragraph, or give me, I think this has a placeholder image as well. I think it will do images, just these gray images. Similar to that, if you don't have, let's see, I think it's just placeholder. Yeah, I have a placeholder stack. It's free, and it does placeholder images. So yeah, you could just kind of like randomly generate images. If I refresh this, it'll probably change those images. Yeah. Looks like one of these is broken. Oh man, whatever service this was is busted. So some of that stack this stack needs a little bit of attention apparently. But you can auto generate kind of images, and you can say like, give me a business image, and it'll kind of just auto download them. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Placeholder, it's free. Can't beat free, right? Cool. There you go. But lorem utility looks interesting. It just randomly generates, lorem ipsum text. So if you just want, randomly generated text for your web pages, check it out. I think it's $15. There we go. Okay. Next up is Movingbox. It's another one that I know a lot of people use and love, and are waiting for version 3, or version 4 actually. So yeah, Movingbox is just a super powerful slider. It's really, really flexible, allows you to do multi-slides and all kinds of stuff. You can link directly to a slide. You can do some really powerful stuff with Movingbox. It is, I think, one of the best sliders in the community. It's really good. I do have multiple sliders on my webpage. I think Movingbox right now is probably my favorite. Cycler is another really nice slider stack. And it has some different feature set, right? It has some different animations that Movingbox doesn't have. And then Superflex is going to be released soon. And that is another really, really amazing slider, actually. But it's different than Movingbox, right? So I think there's definitely a good arsenal to have with sliders, depending on what effect you want. It could be interesting maybe one day if I like, all the slider stacks out there, then kind of compare them or something. There's so many different ones out there. I myself have 3 or 4 different ones, depending on, features. Like I have Gyro, which has a very, very specific animation, right? And if you like that, then it's great for that. But Gyro is another nice slider stack. But Movingbox, I think, is just for a general purpose slider. It also integrates with Total CMS Blog, and that, I think, makes it really an invaluable tool to have in your arsenal. Okay, next up was from our friends at YabDab, actually. And I think if you're going to do an e-commerce site and you don't want to pay for something like, Cartloom, or, man, if I can't type YabDab, Yabadabadoo. Okay, PaySnap. I think it's a brilliant. It is very well done. And it allows you to put a full-blown shopping cart on your webpage that integrates with Stripe or PayPal. Like for $50, unlimited domains, like there's no this. I think PaySnap is a no-brainer. If you don't want to use something like go full on like Cartloom, or a lot of people love Ecwid as well, and some other things. If you're just building a small e-commerce site that has a few pages, you don't need, online management of inventory or products and things of that nature. Look at PaySnap. It's styled really nice. Funny enough, actually the demo's made with Foundation 6. It's just a really nice one. It's styled beautifully. You can't go wrong. Check out PaySnap. I use Cartloom, so I haven't used this on any of my sites, but I I think it's a quality product. And building out a full-blown shopping cart like this is not easy. Okay. I do have PayPal stacks. They are made to be super simple. They're made for like very, entry level, gathering a donation or selling a single product or, this is definitely a huge step up from that because you have full blown shopping cart and stuff like that. I mean, it's not easy to do something like this. And I think for the value that this brings, it's definitely a very cool, good tool to have in your arsenal. So check out PaySnap. Okay, let's get back to Movingbox. Okay, Movingbox. Let's look at if you need to embed a PDF. Okay, every now and then you need to. PDF embed, kind of a no-brainer stack. It just embeds a PDF. It has a nice little embed in there. I think I completely redid this stack last year, and I did version 3, shipped it as a free update to everybody, and it finally works on mobile. Embedded PDFs on your web page on mobile. Has a nice little toolbar here that lets you print or save or download the PDF and stuff like that. Maybe eventually I'll do a pro version that lets you customize this toolbar, but as of right now, it's just a straight simple upload the PDF to your server, give it the embed, and voila, it does a great job of it. Okay. Next up is, I think it's the best photo gallery stack out there. I re-released it last week. Nick Cates originally designed it. I've had a couple updates under my belt with it already, and the photo stack. I do have a lot of other galleries on my webpage. Image gallery, prints is an okay one, but I just have to be honest. Photo is the de facto standard. I think photo gallery in the entire RepWeaver community. I think it is the nicest one out there. So I'm super happy to have it under Weaver Space. And it's just the best photo gallery out there. It just does a beautiful job. It dynamically loads images. You have a lot of caption, options. You have the flow grid here. You can do traditional image grids, traditional image grids like this with hover. I mean, it's just a really, really great one. This particular one, I think this one actually loads. If you notice, click on these are gallery collections. So when you click on an image, each of those has its own particular dedicated gallery, right? So just super nice. I know a lot of people were missing it when, Nick Cates decided to retire from the community, but I'm glad we have it available now for everybody. And it's just a super quality stack. So make sure you check out Photo. If you don't have it, it really is an amazing photo solution. Integrates with Total CMS too. Haha. Sorry, another Total CMS plug. I see a bunch of questions coming in. I thought I had directions and missed it. Let's see. Is there a way to do filters within F6 built-in stacks? No, you cannot do filters with the built-in F6 stacks. It does come with a filter swatch, which will add, when you buy filters, a swatch will magically appear inside Foundation called filters, and that will do that. How does Horizon different than Movingbox? Well, they're very different. Horizon is just kind of this horizontal sliding container, this big, huge container that slides. And Movingbox is a slider where, you click on the individual slides and animates to one slide. So very different effects, right? Hopefully that makes sense. I guess you can achieve similar looks depending on what you're doing. But Horizon, again, it's just kind of this smooth scrolling. It's like having a big, huge container that just kind of scrolls. Whereas Movingbox is like a one at a time thing, right? So yeah, their effects are different. Good question though, Jody. I've used FormSnap for the past 10 years. FormSnap's another powerful form out there. Yeah. I think the top forms out there are, obviously I think Foundation 6 forms are very powerful. And then we have FormSnap and Forms Plus. I think those three stacks are super powerful. Each one I think has its strengths. Like I said, Forms Plus, if you want a multi-step form, go there. I like in FormSnaps, I like the styling that actually that Mike has in his forms. I think that he styles the form snap really well. He also has like a form snap add-on pack, I think it is. I could be wrong. I think there's like an add-on pack for forms that has some like additional fields, and some of those are actually really nice. Some of those are really cool fields. Let's see. PDF embed is very nice. I use it a lot. Can you upload a PDF from Total CMS? Yes, you can. Just use a file or depot, and then you can link to that inside the PDF embed. There you go. How are you handling updates to Nickcate stacks? I've posted several posts about that. Check out the Weaverspace community, probably in the announcements thread. You'll be getting updates. I am going to be finally. Last week I released two of them, re-released them on my site. This week I'm trying to get 2 more released, and I'm going to try to release 2 per week until I get them all out. So hopefully by the end of May we'll have them all out and released to the world. So that's my goal. Hopefully I can make it. Photos works with Foundation 6. Yes. All of my stacks should work in Foundation 6. If you find any issues, let me know. We'll fix it. But any stack out there, not just mine, any stack out there should work in Foundation 6. So it should. Glad you say photo. Yes, it does. Blah, blah, blah. What's the difference between moving box and impact? Again, moving box and impact. Impact is not your traditional slider. Oh, yeah, like I talked about during the impact section. Moving box is like a slider that you have as a part of the content, right? Where, here, let's, where am I? I'm on photo. And then, okay, so here's moving box. As you see here, moving box is like, again, with the moving box, each thing, it's like you have one active slide at a time. Even when you're displaying multiple slides, this is moving box. Like everything is displayed like one at a time. Okay. Or you can display 4 at a time here, but everything is like, it's very, slideshowish. Even this variable width one, it moves one thing at a time. It's again, while this variable width example might resemble Horizon, the background of Horizon is very different in that it's a continuous smoothing, scrolling container. Here for fun, let's bring up Horizon as well. Again, Horizon, you see here, it's just a smooth scrolling. There are no individual slides. I can't link to a particular one of these. It's just a container of stuff that either you can manually slide with your mouse. I'm using my mouse right now, or my touchpad, or you can have this animation that, will scroll through it, right? So yeah, that's what Horizon is. Okay. Moving box, again, it's more of animate to one part, right? Even this example here, it's all about, this is the active slide and these are just off on the side, right? And moving box can do stuff like this as well, where you have kind of thumbnails on the bottom and you can link multiple sliders together. And, so moving box, again, it's a very powerful stack, but the effects are different. Okay. I guess moving box does have an infinite scroll, but it does behave differently than Horizon. So it's just all knowing and playing around with these things and knowing what they want to do. And then impact is just very different. Impact isn't about, here we have slides where you can, go to each individual slide. And a lot of times that slide will have data or a particular image and you want to see all of that image. Okay. Here, if we go to like a gallery, right? Like, oops, there we go. So, right. So, I mean, like, moving box also allows you to put whatever you want inside the slide. So like this has an image as well as some text and all kinds of stuff. But, you're going to see moving box is basically like a part of the content. Okay. Whereas impact is more of, you're not going to see this entire image. It's more of an accent. It's more of a design aesthetic, right? It's not about clicking to each slide. Again, Impact does have controls that you can use, right? But the controls don't even behave like moving box controls do. So yeah, it's just like here you can actually do kind of a traditional slider here, but Impact just behaves differently than moving box does. It just has different features. Again, there are, I'm not going to say there isn't any overlap between all three of these. You can, there is some overlap. Like I said, in Horizon, if we go back to the moving box demo, we have this variable width. This looks a lot like, what Horizon can do, but it's just different, so that, again, there's some overlap with these stacks, but they are in themselves unique individuals, okay, that have their own set of unique features that are slightly different, and you might want like one over the other in for certain things. And I think Impact excels. While Impact can do stuff like this, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I think moving box is better for something like this. I think it will behave more how you'd like. But if you were to do banners like this, right, or like on this other page that we had the video up here, I don't think anything can beat Impact for that. Impact's just the best. Okay. For doing, slideshow or video based banners, I don't think anything can beat Impact for that. Could you use moving box up here? Well, moving box won't do videos, but could you do something like this with moving box? Well, minus the Ken Burns sliding effect and stuff. Yeah, I guess you could. You could build a container that is 100% height of the browser, and then you can like have an image, and you could attempt to fill that image. And so could you do that with moving box? Yeah, you probably could, but you wouldn't get a lot of the other nice features that Impact brings us, right? So yeah, again, there is going to be a lot of overlap between these stacks, but it's just finding the one that you want that fits the bill for what you're currently building. Hopefully that wasn't too long-winded, and hopefully I answered your question, Peter. And I think that kind of elaborates more on answering Jody. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's see. Pi. Pi is definitely, it is definitely an more advanced stack. I'll tell you that right out of the box. But if you need to do form calculations, there's nothing else out there that will do it. And it works with it works with FormSnap, it works with Forms Plus, it works with Foundation Forms. It works with, and as you see here, you can just do nice calculations. People have done some seriously amazing stuff, really cool stuff with Pi, in terms of, job estimators, or Sarah O'Neill did a really cool, I think it was like an air conditioner estimator thing. I think Josh Ullman did a really cool one. And Paul Russum actually helped me create this. You can even do some funky stuff like, use Pi to dynamically change CSS on the page. I mean, it's some pretty cool, crazy stuff. Pi, it's definitely advanced, especially like this demo here. If this is like a birthday calculator, that, you tell it your birthday and it tells you what day you were born on. And it does some crazy calculations. Paul Russum took the time to do that, and yeah, it was pretty cool stuff. So here's like an HSL slider. It's pretty slick. So anyway, Pi, if you want to do calculations, either, date calculations or anything based on forms, and you either want to, display those calculations on the page, or, submit those calculations with the form, yeah, Pi is super powerful. Chasen says he used his call to action to launch Pi. There you go. Quick flip. This one's just a fun. I have to say, I actually one person put quick flip, and I was actually a little surprised because it is a fun one. I do like quick flip. And yeah, it's just a way of doing. It's just fun, right? I mean, if you didn't notice on the Foundation Stacks website, on the demos, Yeah, that's quick flip right there. Pretty fun stuff. If you just hover over the header, it's just like a little Easter egg. Yeah, quick flip's just fun. I think the animations are super quality. They're slick. I like it. It's just a really useful stack. Here I'm using it with cards, but as you see in real life, you could just, you can flip whatever you want. So here's a header to some images, right? Just a fun stack. When you need something just fun on your site, especially like little Easter eggs like this. This adds nothing to the web page. It's just kind of fun. Gotta have fun when we work sometimes. Okay. Next up is Scribe, another powerful one from Big White Duck. And think of it as a markdown stack on steroids. Essentially, that's what it is. I know a lot of people swear by Scribe, and that's the only text-based stack that they use. You can do a lot of the basics with Scribe using Foundation 6 form or Foundation 6 swatches in the text stack. But Scribe does have a lot of the stuff kind of baked into each individual stack. I think you can also, if you're using the master style system inside with Big White Duck, you can kind of, they're similar to swatches in that you can kind of do centralized styles for Scribe and stuff like that. Scribe's a nice one. Check that out if you want some more advanced text features. He has some stuff kind of like Font Pro has, like in terms of kerning and letter spacing and line spacing and stuff like that, that you can apply to a specific section, right? So that's kind of useful if you're hardcore typography. So this, in combination, it works well with Font Pro as well. So if you're using Font Pro, Scribe's a nice complement to that. Hey, we're getting down to the timeline here. Let's see. Next up is Seams. I just shipped a feature or a update to Seams. Seams just does the all the like the little curvy transitions between things. You can even some crazy stuff like this entire image here is all done with Seams. So like the mountains, the sun, the sky, this entire little box is done with a seam stack, which is, I think, probably goes a little far, but hey, it's useful. Here it does this diagonal line through this gallery, right? So here's kind of just a little gallery of things that you can do, kind of different effects that you can do. It even has some cool stuff like paint splatter and stuff like that. So some really interesting ones, as well as the traditional just straight line or curved lines. And funny enough, I don't have it in this demo, but you can actually animate all of these seams as well. I should actually animate these so that you guys can see those. Actually the update yesterday, I just improved the animations in Seams so that you can animate these a little bit nicer and it's a little slicker. So there's Seams, really cool stack. Love the icon too. I like the look of this web page. Colors mesh well together. I did a good job on that. Getting there, Target. So Foundation 6, if you're a Foundation 6 user, there is the position swatch, okay? And you can do a lot of what Target does with the position swatch. But Target just goes a little bit farther than what the position swatch will do for you. Eventually I'll probably have a Target swatch. But Target is, I think, the ultimate positioning tool for RapidWeaver. If you want to easily center stuff, that's kind of easy to do in Foundation 6 now as well. But before it wasn't so easy. So Target has an easy way to do that. But doing stuff like this, custom positioning things on top of images, Target does that really, really well. You can pin things to the side. So if you want to easily pin things to the side, Target does that really well. You can hide things on scroll. So if we scroll down, you'll see that these pins and this one up here, okay, they hide when I scroll down. And when I scroll up, they come back, right? So that's kind of a nice feature of Target. Shifting things. So we can kind of do this with negative margins in Foundation 6, but prior to that, there was no other way to do that. So Target could be used to shift things. So, but maybe, you know, if negative margins, I know that confuses some people, maybe doing it with target would make it a little bit easier for you. So yeah, shifting things left, right, and all that jazz. We can do floats. Some people were asking how to do floats inside Foundation. Target's one way we can do that. It also works with call to action, which is kind of interesting in that this is a light box that I kind of made using the target stack. And by using target, what's interesting is that you can't actually close it. Yeah, if you want like a call to action to integrate with target, it's a way of like overlaying content on top and allowing you not to get rid of it. Like the user can't get this away. Okay. So maybe like, you know, the first time they visit a web page, they can see the content, and the next time they get target on top, which is like subscribe now in order to pay, or you know, in order to read, or something like that. And that use case right there was actually why I invented the integration with target and call to action. So that's a really cool one. Let's go back. There's other conditions such as, you know, you have custom breakpoints. You can, you know, you can target something that's when it's outside the viewport. So like when this particular image scrolls up, we can target it down here, right? That's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, target's just a really powerful positioning tool. Okay. I'm gonna go to, or let's next one on the list is actually from Elixir Graphics. And what was this? Timeline. I have to agree. This is a nice one. Let's see, plugins. Does he call them plugins? I guess he does. Is Timeline not even available anymore? Or is it called something else? Oh. Maybe that's not even available. Shoot. What's Bloom? I don't even know. Interesting. Okay, well, I guess the Timeline stack doesn't exist anymore. I thought it was from Elixir, right? Timeline stack RapidWeaver. I thought that was... Oh, is that... Oh, Stacks for Stacks. For some reason, I thought this was an Elixir stack. I think he used to have a Timeline stack. Okay. I'm not sure. Okay, but yeah. If you need something like this, this works, right? It's really cool. And there you go. Oh, Davide says it's from 1LD. Oh, okay. I guess there's two timeline stacks. Responsive timeline. Oh, this isn't the one I was thinking of. This is a different effect. But this looks nice. I don't think I've ever seen this one. But interesting, on page load it didn't load everything. You had to like scroll in order to see anything. And that's interesting though. Oh, it does vertical as well. Oh, look at that. Okay. Nice one. So yeah, if you need a timeline, then there we go. This one or the one from Stacks for Stacks. I kind of like this one. The animations are nice, right? So if you really need something, you know, some sort of timeline thing, nice. Thanks, Davide. Last one on the list is another one of my favorites. Video wall. I think this, if you need to integrate a Vimeo or YouTube channel into a web page, there's no better way to do this than video wall. You know, you can easily integrate, you know, just put in the channel or a playlist and, you know, integrate all the videos directly on a web page. I think video wall it's just great. I think it's just a really awesome way of handling things, or handling, you know, easily integrating, you know, a playlist or some sort of video service on a web page. And so if you upload a video, depending on caching on, the server side or whatever, it could take a few minutes or an hour or so. It depends on when you upload it, but it'll eventually show up on your webpage. Really, really cool. So you don't need any work. You just upload videos to YouTube or Vimeo, and they will magically appear on your webpage. Really cool. I'm using all of this. I'm using Video Wall on the Foundation 6 demo pages. So like if we open up any of these, interesting that my browser is there. Okay. I zoomed in my my display, so like I'm not used to having my browser window this ginormous. So you scroll down the bottom of each section here, you'll see that we have, video tutorials. And that's because I've created a playlist on YouTube that brings in all these videos in for each individual. So like these are all the layout videos. And if I go to the navigation demos and then I scroll down and go to the video tutorials, here's all the video tutorials we have for Foundation 6 navigation stuff, right? So yeah, Video Wall is invaluable. I think it is. It's a stylish. It has some really cool hover effects like you see here. Actually borrowed from that Video Pro stack that I never shipped on the emailstacks.com site. So yeah, some really cool stuff here. Okay, let's go back to the chat. Let's see if I missed anything. If you guys have any sort of stacks that you use that I might have forgotten, or didn't talk about, let us know. Let's see. Love Video Wall. Video Wall is basically a block grid. Yes, I mean, it displays the videos in a grid. If you notice, you can also do a slider, so you can have all the videos inside of a slider. So, but yes, it displays all your videos in a grid, and you can integrate feeds from multiple playlists, or even you can even mix Vimeo and YouTube all in the same wall. You can just add multiple stacks into the Video Wall. Not sure why we do want to mix, but hey, you could, it's definitely possible. You can have multiple maybe YouTube playlists that you want to have on the same Video Wall page. You can easily do that. Elixir Capsule Toggle is great stack. I use often. Cool. The Capsule Toggle stack. I'm not sure what that is here. I saw Capsule on the page. Let's see what it is. Plugins. Thought I saw Capsule. Not sure what Capsule is. Live preview. Is it this? Oh, okay. So you can toggle a section on and off. Okay, kind of. It's very similar to. This toggles a section on or off, but I just released last week. Probably saw it. The AB switch stack, which allows you to toggle between different sections. So it's a nice little container. You can have it go on hover. So if you see here, I'm hovering, you can kind of play around with it. So yeah, kind of similar to that. I'm wondering if you were to, you could probably actually do this, a very similar thing. Just leave one of the content areas empty, and then you could toggle from completely empty to content. So you could probably do the same exact thing actually with my AB switch stack. So cool. That was one of the Nick Kate stacks that I'm re-releasing. I did this one last week. I was told Elixir did retire his timeline stack. So there you go. Cool. Well, everybody, I think, I just noticed it's almost 1 o'clock. I went for an hour and a half. What? Time flies when you're having fun. I can talk about RapidWeaver forever. I love his stuff. So, I don't know. Hopefully a lot of you stuck around and you found some, for AB Switch, can you lightbox content? Like when you maybe you can put it in a launcher stack. I know you're using Foundation 6, so maybe you can put it in a launcher stack, and then when you click on it, it'll launch a Lightbox. Maybe that's what you want. Not exactly sure. If you want to elaborate that on Weaver Space community, we can test it out or kind of get an idea of what you want. But anyway, for now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully, maybe you found a new stack that you liked. Yeah, and you learned some stuff. Hopefully that was enjoyable. I do want to so this week, I'll let you guys know I do plan on shipping. Superflex is coming this week, and Scroll Page. Those are the two that I hope to have released by Friday. So I'll probably have one tomorrow and then one on Friday. So Superflex is coming back out, as well as Scroll Page. Both are really nice stacks. I like them both, actually. So yeah, look out for those emails when I get those out. I'll send out the emails and probably post on the Weaver Space community as well. And hopefully we'll see everyone then. And just as always, I know there's a lot of confusion. I'm re-releasing all these Nick Kate stacks, but if you bought them from Nick, you should have already gotten an email from me way back in December with your version, right? So you get my new versions for free, and then if you didn't get that email, go to my support page, go to the order lookup tool, and type in your email, and it'll send you you can see all your past order histories, which will include all the Nick Kate stuff. So then you can download the latest versions, my versions, from there. You can go do that right now, even for Superflex. Actually, I just shipped an update to Superflex this week. I didn't announce it anywhere because I haven't officially released it yet, but I did ship an update to Superflex so that it works a little bit nicer in Foundation 6. So if you have my version, you should have got that update. And yeah, I'll probably ship another update by the end of the week for it, just so that I'll probably find some other things when building the demos and all that jazz. So cool. Thank you very much for coming on, everybody. Sorry for taking so long. Hopefully you had some fun, and hopefully we'll see you on Friday at the Hangouts. Cool. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.